Pinnacle Mountain State Park is 2,356 acres large. I think we all know it's important to keep our community environment clean. My name is Sang Mai, and I'm a 1300 speech student at UALR. Today I'm going to be talking to you guys about my service learning at Partners for Pinnacle. First, I will talk about my service learning. Second, I will connect two communication concepts to my experience. And finally, I will connect a communication principle and two civil and ethical implications to my service learning. Now I will tell you about my service learning. I completed my service at Partners for Pinnacle. I helped out at the Race to Base event. If you've ever been to Pinnacle Mountain, you know how clean it's kept. The mission statement of my organization, according to their Facebook page, is to preserve and promote a natural environment in an urban setting and to enhance understanding and appreciation of the natural world through environmental education. So, like I said, I helped out at the Race to Base event, and it's a 20-minute, or it's like an hour race around the base trail, and these are some of the runners. I worked under the supervisors Lisa and Dan, and I worked alongside volunteers Randy, Lisa, Liz, and Daniel. I helped out at the Finish Line Pavilion by decorating and preparing food. I handed out water cups to runners at the halfway point, the water station, you can see up there. And I handed out racing cups and t-shirts at the finish line, as well as cleaning up the Finish Line Pavilion once the race was over. My service work allowed smooth progress of the race, and cleaning up the water station cups prevented littering of the mountain, and cleaning up the pavilion at the end helped restore the cleanliness of the park. Moving on, I will now talk about two communication concepts, a communication principle, and two civil and ethical implications that are related to my service learning. The first communication concept is active followers. Active followers the definition of active followers according to Lane Apgar-Gooch 2015 is followers who offer opinions when given the opportunity, but emphasize loyalty to the leader. An example of this during my service learning was when my supervisor told us to chime in if we had any ideas. This demonstrated to me that I could chime in if I had any suggestions, but I also understood that the supervisor had the final say. The second communication concept is repeating. The definition of repeating, according to Lane Apgar-Gooch 2015, is a function of nonverbal communication. An example of this during my service learning was when I was getting instructions, I would mimic the action to repeat what was explained. This clarified my understanding of what I was being told, and without the supervisor having to verbally repeat what he was saying. A relevant communication principle connected to my service learning is communication is simultaneous. The definition of that, according to the 2015 UALR course manual, is communication is a constant exchange of behaviors that can be interpreted by the other. An example of this was when I was receiving my instructions from my supervisor, I would nod if I understood. This communicated to my supervisor that I understood the instructions and would be able to complete the task correctly. The first civil and ethical implication is trustworthiness. The definition of trustworthiness, according to the 2015 UALR course manual, is the degree in which the accuracy of our ideas and shared information can be used by others to make decisions, maintaining trust needed for a healthy community. An example of this was when my supervisor would distribute our tasks. When I first started, he would give me tasks that was always under another volunteer. But towards the end, once he trusted me more, he gave me tasks that were completely unsupervised. The second civil and ethical implication is concern for community. The definition of this, according to the UALR course manual, is committing to the practice of daily actions, interactions, and performances of engaged citizens that promote a co-created community experience. An example of this would be my overall experience with volunteering. This created a positive change because I now understood my impact on the community and the environment. In conclusion, I have told you guys about my service learning at Partners for Pinnacle. I've connected two communication concepts, a communication principle, and two civil and ethical implications to my service learning. Since Pinnacle Mountain spans such a large area, it requires a community of people to keep it clean.